Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm here with my good friend Chris Tolley.
What's going on, everybody?
And we are in beautiful Pompano Beach, Florida right now, taking in this awesome 80-degree weather and this Audi A3 Cabriolet that Audi let us take and review and stuff while we're down here. But it's definitely a good trip. Nice contrast from North Carolina, which is probably about 30 degrees right now.
And raining.
And maybe snowing.
And maybe snow.
You never know what's going to go on in North Carolina.
For real.
But I actually wasn't going to make this video beforehand, because the original plan for this trip was we were going to go down to Atlanta and meet the guys that deliver my press vehicles and just make like a little trip out of it and stuff. But I ended up buying a car like a day or two before we went on this trip. And it's a very special car to me, and it's a very special thing that I wanted to do for the channel. So I wanted to shoot this video as kind of an introduction, I guess, of picking up the car and driving it for the first time and everything like that. As many of you guys know, I mean, especially those of you who have followed the channel for forever now, I mean, SAABKYLE04 is probably going to hit 1 million subscribers. We estimate maybe September or so. We passed 875,000 not too long ago, and it's unbelievable how much this channel has grown, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me and what I love to do. And every single day I'm going to try to get better and better and make the best content I can. If I have to go to California and back to film a particular vehicle, I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Make it happen. And
Chris is helping me out a lot with the channel now, so we got more eyes and more hands in the basket, so it's going to be quite nice. But so back to this trip. My first car, as a lot of you know, was a 1997 SAAB 900 SE convertible, and that's what I got in 2004 as my first car, and that's where SAABKYLE04 came from. I didn't have that car very long, but like it had some problems and stuff that we had to, you know, convertible top, engine.
It's gonna have a couple little works that you need to fix.
Yeah, so I actually got rid of it before I got my driver's license, so it was the car I learned how to drive on and everything like that. So even though I didn't get to really experience the full potential of that car, it's got a sentimental placement in my heart. And I was thinking, you know, we've had so many cool opportunities in the last year with supercars. I mean, the LaFerrari, we did an Enzo a couple of years ago. I mean, the Huayra last year. I mean, 2015 was just epic. So cool with the amount of cars we were able to film. So I was trying to think, you know, I always try to do a special video for, sorry for the noise, it's really loud on the highway. But I've always tried to do a special video every 100,000 subscribers or so, and before then it was like a supercar. Well, we get so many supercar opportunities, it almost seems less special, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still cool, but I thought, you know, if there was a way that I can kind of bring it back to the beginning a little bit, especially for those of you who like the regular and the normal cars, and all of you new folks who like to watch stuff that are different, or that's different, and stuff that you might not see on YouTube all the time, which that's what I've always tried to do, is, you know, maintain the most variety as possible. Alright, so my initial plan for this video was to actually track down and buy my first car back. That 97 SAAB 900 SE convertible. It was white with black leather, black top, and these cool looking 3-spoke wheels and stuff. It was a very neat car, and I didn't really appreciate it quite as much back then as I do now, just for its, you know, its difference. I like stuff that's different. I like to stand out. And that car competed with like the Audi convertibles, the BMW 3 Series convertibles and all that, so it's got a little, it's cool. Anyway, so we actually got pretty far. My dad still had the records of like the VIN number and stuff, so we pulled a Carfax on and was tracking it down. The guy that I sold it to back in, I don't know, 2005 or whatever, drove it to like 2012 and sold it to someone in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live, and with like 150,000 miles on it. And I was like, I don't know, because when we sold the car, we actually had to put a new engine in it because it died. That was the biggest thing.
One of the that.
Yeah. So we had to put an engine in it for the guy. So I had a new engine relatively, and so I was like, well, probably not hurting too bad with 150 on it, but it was being driven and registered and stuff for the 2 years following, but after 2014, nothing was reported to Carfax. So I don't know if it got wrecked or if it blew a transmission and was sitting in somebody's yard somewhere or sold to a scrap yard. I don't know if that kind of stuff is reported to Carfax or not, but it was just dead. It dropped off the face of the planet. So I was thinking, well, this probably isn't going to happen, and DMV probably won't give you records and stuff like they did in Gone in 60 Seconds for if you pay for it.
Yeah, like no matter, I've looked the internet high and low, and there's like,
I'm
it's
pretty
like
sure that's
legal.
a pretty big privacy problem.
You can't find it.
I want to pay to get this guy's VIN number.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had no way of tracking that car down, and I figured that car would just be an absolute basket case because it wasn't perfect when I had it. It needed interior work and stuff, and you know, those cars aren't worth a ton of money, especially with a ton of miles on them, so it wasn't worth buying and sinking all that money into. So I thought, well, maybe if I can find one on the internet that was just like it. So for the past 3 months, I've been scouring the internet on like SAABnet and eBay and all these different places, and I found nothing. But last week, one showed up on eBay. It was a 95 model 900 SE convertible, just like mine, same color. There's just a few little variations between the 95 and 97, not a whole lot. The biggest difference is that this car has the V6, the 2.5 liter V6, instead of the 2 liter turbo that mine had. So yeah, I found this car on eBay. It has 82,000 miles on it. Apparently everything works. It's got a new battery. The dealership's cleaning it up right now, and they put they did an oil change and stuff to it. So it should be absolutely ready to go. So basically, I saw a ton of pictures of this on eBay. I technically bought it sight unseen. I did not come down here and see it in person, and it's already bought and paid for.
Yep.
So
ready for a 1,000-mile journey back to North Carolina.
Yeah, so we're gonna hop in the car, give you guys a quick first drive, and give you just a brief tour, explain what I'm gonna be doing with this Road to a Million video series that I'm gonna be featuring the car in, the plans I have for the car, and we're gonna drive to Atlanta today. It's gonna be about a 10-hour drive. We're gonna stay overnight, and then we're gonna drive 6 hours back to North Carolina, or 5 hours to North Carolina tomorrow. So we're gonna put about 1,000 miles on the car immediately, never having driven it before.
So if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's
still good.
Be good.
We'll make there somehow.
We'll make it one way or another.
But yeah, so we're almost to the dealership now. Next stop, let's hopefully the car's sitting outside, and we'll see it for the first time. And
it's been a long journey to come down here and find.
I'm like nervous and antsy, but I'm like this is my first car. Like it's as close to my first car as it. And I actually think my first car or the Saab had 80,000 miles on it when I got it, so it's almost like getting it again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right where you left off, picking it right back up.
All right, guys. Next stop is the dealership. All right, dealership is right around the corner. Car should be sitting outside, so I've been told. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. Should be on the right. And there it should be. Oh man, that looks clean. Ooh, Ferrari. Forget the Saab, we just came for the Ferrari. Oh, dude, there's a DeLorean over there. Yeah, where are we at?
Dude, this is amazing.
I saw a bunch of classic cars around the corner, too.
It's like this whole area is just cars everywhere.
Yeah. All right, let's go check this thing out. So like I said, this is a 1995 Saab 900 SE convertible. It doesn't have the 2 liter turbo engine like mine had. It's got the 2.5 liter V6. So I've never driven this or driven that engine before, so this will be pretty cool. That looks awesome. All right, guys, I'd like to introduce Dustin from Florida Pre-Owned Autos. He's been instrumental in making all of this stuff possible for me, so big thanks. The car is awesome, and we're about ready to hit the road to Atlanta.
Congratulations
Thanks
on
a
your
lot.
purchase, and have a safe trip back.
Appreciate it.
Keys, books, happy motoring. Good luck with your subscribers.
Appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
All right, so got the keys. Let's go ahead and check out the inside. Love that horn. Jeez. Like I said, 82,000 miles, black leather, heated seats, memory seats for the driver. I mean, there's padded material everywhere, all across the doors. They really made these cars well. Oh, let's fire it up for the first time. As you guys know, like typical Saab fashion, the ignition cylinder's in the center console. This is great. All right, let's go ahead and pop the hood. Automatic windows. Struts are nice. They're in good shape. Look how clean that is. So there are 3 motors for these cars. A naturally aspirated 2.34 cylinder. This motor, 2.5 liter V6, 170 horsepower, 160 some torque, and then the top engine was the 2 liter turbo, which made more horsepower and torque, but this is awesome. There's no corrosion on anything. Bolts are in good shape. That's a really clean 21-year-old car. I mean, even this is in good shape. There's no stains or anything like that. I mean, wow. All right, let's go ahead and take it for the first drive. Check everything out, steering, transmission, all that good stuff. Very cool. The 900 was actually available in a 5-speed manual also. This one has the 4-speed automatic. It's got a sport mode, it's got a snow mode or low traction mode. Mine had the 4-speed, so kind of keep it the same. Shift's really good, nice and crisp. Ride's pretty good too, feels very solid. Power steering feels good. Very reminiscent to mine. It's got a very weighty feel, but it's responsive. No creaks or squeaks, anything like that, which is always important. We'll get a little acceleration out. Yeah, so much power. This thing drives great. So good. Brakes feel good. Man. You never know buying a car like sight unseen, especially, I'm sure, like older Saabs and stuff. I mean, but this was worth driving all the way down to Florida for. So awesome. So I'm gonna go pick up Chris and we're gonna head to a nice beach location and give you guys just a quick tour of the car. Are you ready to hit the beach?
You know it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Back-to-back convertibles.
Oh look, Bentley. Nice. Oh look, Bel Air convertible. Oh look, another Saab convertible.
Dude, this is like Saab Central down here.
I know. We're in like a warehouse dealership, like mechanics section of Pompano Beach. There's so many cars around here. It's crazy. All right, guys, let me give you a quick tour of the car and show you some of the key differences between this one and mine and what I'm going to do to make this one look like the one that I have. Biggest difference on the outside are the wheels. This one has the 15-inch wheels. Mine had 16-inch wheels. They were like larger 3-spokes. They look quite cool. They had blue Saab center caps. These are a little bit plain and the center caps are already a little faded out and stuff. So I actually have a set of wheels on order that I got on eBay. Those should be arriving shortly. Be very exciting. I'll put a fresh set of tires on it as well. All right, taking a look around the car. Pretty much everything else is identical from the front and the sides. This one being a V6 model actually has V6 up in the grille. I love the little headlamp washers. And this is back when like the main beams were glass. Very cool. Looking at the paint and the body, I mean, it's in excellent condition. There's a few little blemishes on the front fascia. I mean, basically what you would expect a car of this age, just a few little scratches that you can easily touch up, but all the emblems are good. There's no dents from like car doors or anything like that. Everything's very straight. The interior almost has no sunwear. I mean, it's incredible, the shape of all the padded material, the leather. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, mine had cracks all in the seats and everything. This one, there's a little bit of wear on the bolster. I mean, where you get in, basically any old car with leather is going to get that if you're not careful. But, I mean, but that's it. It's just phenomenal. All right, looking at the back, everything is pretty much the same. Newer 900s had that big reflector piece that went in between the taillights, made it look like one continuous unit. Mine had that, and I actually found a mint condition one on eBay. So while this doesn't look bad at all, I am gonna replace that just to, you know, kind of make it authentic, but I'll keep that piece just because it's original with the car. Yeah, the little ducktail spoiler type thing on top of the deck lid, very cool. And these are the original emblems. They still have like the silver painting. A little bit of bright work. I actually had to paint mine, so that's pretty nice. I mean, this car was definitely garage kept. All right, let's go ahead and hop in, show you some of the interior details. Obviously, I'll cover this more in depth during my review, but so you guys can get a little bit of a look. Automatic climate control down below, the black panel, a little clock, console shifter, all the switches and everything are down there, including the ignition switch. Car actually sounds pretty good. Alright guys, time to begin the 9.5-hour journey back to Atlanta. Right now with no stops, we should get there around 11:30 this evening, but obviously we're gonna have to stop. I gotta have a tank of gas, so it'll probably be after midnight or so. But it should be a nice drive. Yesterday's drive down here was quite uneventful, not a lot of traffic. We hit the Florida Turnpike a lot, so, and I mean, it was nice. There's a lot of clouds out today. I don't think it's supposed to rain, but based on my Florida experience of the past, you never know, and when it comes, it absolutely downpours, so hopefully we don't get caught in that, but I'll keep you guys updated. All right, we're getting on the highway for the first time. Yeah, I went ahead and put the top up as I was basically starting to cook in this Florida sun. It'd be a little weird to have a little mismatched tan going on here and stuff, and my hair is obviously crazy and stuff, but you know, we're on a road trip, we're having fun. I've driven this car 111 miles so far, and it's been fantastic. There's no temperature problems, the transmission behaves great, the steering feels great. There's a little bit of a shimmy on rougher roads and stuff, but it's what I would expect out of an older convertible with hydraulic steering and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's an older car. It's not going to be like the Audi A3 you guys saw that Chris is driving in front of me, because he has the navigation, and I don't feel like putting my phone down in the center console to keep it straight on ahead on roads that I'm not familiar with and a car I'm not familiar with. So it's definitely been a fun journey so far. The suspension and everything in this car, I mean, it feels wonderful, especially like on the highways. I mean, this is just, I wouldn't call it a sporty, or it's a sporty car, but it's not a sports car. It feels more, I guess you would call it grand touring, very comfortable, very smooth. But yeah, I like it. I'm absolutely blown away by how nice this car was, like buying it the way I did, and you know, sight unseen, all that kind of stuff, not having it checked out beforehand. But I'll keep you guys posted. We should be in for an interesting journey to Atlanta. We probably have about 500 miles or so to go, or 500 miles or so to go, so I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, we made it to the Florida Turnpike, so we're probably on this for, I don't know, 90 miles or so. It's a pretty long stretch, so I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about why I wanted to do this Road to a Million video series that I mentioned. Well, I mean, just the fact that this channel could probably hit 1 million subscribers in September or something just absolutely blows my mind. And it's so cool that there's so many people that like to see cars more in depth and to learn about them than what you would get in a typical type car review. And I'm always trying to get better at it and work on camera and angles and all that good stuff, and try to keep at the top of my game, so to speak. And just this is just something different I thought would be fun, and definitely fun for me, just being able to experience this car in ways that I never was able to do when I had my other one. So the Road to 1 Million series will be a periodic vlog series that I'll be putting up over the next 6 months, in anticipation of hopefully hitting 1 million around September. So every month or so I'll put up a different aspect of talking about this channel, like where I got the idea from, like how I get my cars, what is the passion that drives me, and the type of videos that I do, just all of that kind of stuff, to give you guys a good behind the scenes look on how everything works. Because I do vlog videos every now and then. I've done some update videos, some frequently asked questions, but that doesn't give you guys the whole perspective and everything on like what is it like on a daily basis to do what I do, the effort that it takes to go into it, the fact that I've hired Chris now to work with me and help me take this beyond my abilities of what I would be able to do by myself. And it's been wonderful. I think 2016 is going to be an awesome year for us all, and not only just making things easier on my part so I can focus on content, but delivering the best content that I can to you guys. So this whole SAAB video and stuff, like, this isn't a car that I necessarily needed, and I don't know if I'll keep it forever, but I thought, you know, this is the only way that I thought I could do this type of series. Like, go back all the way to the beginning, like the car that started it all, SAABKYLE04. I mean, I never expected that I would create the channel that I've created. If I did, in hindsight, I probably would have changed it to a different name, but everybody knows it as SAABKYLE04 now, and it makes no sense to anybody looking at the channel when it first started. So hopefully this enlightens people a little bit, give you guys an in-depth look on what makes this channel possible. Alright guys, we've been driving a bunch so far, probably about 270 miles or so into the trip. Got a lot more to go, but it's time for some dinner, a little bit of extra fuel, so let's go ahead and take a break for a bit. Alright guys, time for another quick update. We've been driving the SAAB for 405 miles, and I haven't had any problems at all. No temperature, no transmission, no nothing. It just feels like a solid car. It's about 9:30 in the evening. We just got into Georgia not too long ago. We probably have, if I had to guess, maybe 200, 250 miles left. So we're definitely on the home stretch. Looking forward to getting back into Atlanta and relaxing a little bit, because tomorrow we are swapping that Audi A3 Cabriolet for the Ford Focus ST that we drove down here in. We just got press cars all out the wazoo lately. I got a 2016 Jaguar XF waiting for me at the house. I got a lot of filming to do, and I actually got a lot of traveling to do this upcoming week as well. You guys will see all of that in the Instagram post if you haven't already. So a few things that I like about the car. Like I talked about earlier, it feels very solid, especially going down the highway. This is a rather comfortable car. It soaks up a lot of bumps. Very, very smooth. I like the steering. There's a lot of good resistance, a lot of good road feel. I also really like this black panel, or the black panel feature. Those of you who aren't familiar with SAABs, it's a feature that will black out all the radio and climate control faces, as well as the accessory gauges around the speedometer. So when you touch it, it turns off the tachometer, turns off the vehicle temperature and fuel. So when you're looking straight forward, all you see is the speedometer illuminated. So it definitely decreases distractions, allows you to focus a little bit better, especially on longer journeys like this. So it's definitely pretty cool. Another thing that I really like about this is the build quality. Build quality is fantastic for 1995. I mean, tons of soft touch material everywhere. I mean, it's definitely held up very well. This example had to have been garage kept the majority or all of its life. I mean, very, very little wear and tear. It's a lot better it's in a lot better shape than the one that I had. A couple of things that I don't like, the transmission, the automatic transmission, there's nothing wrong in the way it shifts. It's just, you know, your typical 21-year-old, like, you know, slush box automatic. It's not sporty at all, and it's kind of abrupt sometimes and everything. It's not the most refined transmission, but putting it into sport mode actually helps out a lot with that. It doesn't shift quite so early and stuff. It kind of keeps you in the power band a little bit more often, so that's definitely nice. So I mean, it is what it is. It's what you would expect out of a car of this vintage. I think the tires on here are definitely roadworthy and stuff, but I think I'm going to upgrade the tires with when I put the larger 16-inch SAAB wheels that I bought for this, which there's a little bit of a vibration at higher speeds. I mean, you let go of the wheel for brief periods of time and the car tracks straight as an arrow. I mean, dead straight. It doesn't veer at all. So I know the alignment is perfect, but it's got a little bit of a vibration, so I'll get that checked. I'm guessing it's probably the tires. When you're sitting and idling, there's a little bit of a vibration too, so it might be an engine mount or something like that. But other than that, I mean, the car drives like an absolute tank. We got about 600 more miles in the rest of this journey, so I guess the next stop will be the hotel. Shouldn't be too much longer. I estimate we'll probably get there maybe around 1 o'clock in the morning or so, and I'll give you guys an update once we arrive. Thanks so much again for tuning in. See you in a bit. Good morning, everyone. It is day 4 of our road trip, the final day. We are heading back to North Carolina. Looking so forward to getting home and actually getting some relaxation and not having to drive 10 hours every single day. Yesterday was really awesome. The drive was not that bad. I imagine it was probably 8.5, 9 hours or so. We didn't really hit a lot of traffic, which was great. When we got into Atlanta, we were both needing gas, probably had about, I don't know, 40 miles or so apiece left. We were trying to debate whether we just coast on in on fumes and make it work or go ahead and fill up. So we tried to do the responsible thing and fill up beforehand. So we took an exit ramp. I don't know where it was in Atlanta, but there was a blind pothole right in the middle of the exit ramp as you were coming around. And Chris was driving the Audi. Obviously, you don't see the Audi with us. Unfortunately, we hit that pothole and it blew the driver's side front tire in the Audi. We tried to make it, but it was done. It popped the sidewall on the tire and couldn't fix it, and had to call Audi roadside assistance and wait around for like 2.5 hours at the gas station, and they ended up getting it, but we didn't get to the hotel and into the bed till probably 5 a.m. or so. So I'm exhausted. I know Chris is exhausted.
I'm good.
So
well, there goes the Audi.
you know, it's funny. I almost expected that to break, but not us to break the other one. That was so cool. I'll go into the car. So we're gonna hop back in the SAAB. We're gonna go pick up that Ford Focus ST and begin the 5-hour journey back to North Carolina. All right. Yeah. So yesterday, we drove this car 652 miles. That's pretty awesome. Got probably another 400 miles or so to go today. So, got coffee, and we're ready to go. So let's go get that Focus. All right, we just picked up the Ford Focus ST, which has been an absolute blast to drive on the way down here. Chris is going to take the reins with this one on the way back to North Carolina. Of course, I will be in the SAAB, little GTR appearance. But yeah, so let's go ahead and head on down the road.
Yes. This thing is so much fun to drive.
All All right, so we just left with the Ford Focus ST. Tali is leading the pack ahead of me. He's got the navigation system, so he'll be guiding us back to North Carolina. You probably wonder why I have my collar popped. I got a little sun scorched yesterday. Not too bad, but it's such a beautiful day outside. It's 64 degrees. I mean, it's awesome. Clear blue skies. You couldn't ask for a better day to drive back. But so I'm definitely going to take advantage of the top, but I'm going to protect myself a little bit. While it probably looks a little stupid.
And this thing is absolutely sick. Like, you put your foot down and just instantly you're just thrust back into the seat, man. There's so much power out of this little thing. You throw it into a corner and it just sits there. So I mean, like, for a Ford Focus ST, like, it feels like you're in a race car or something. This thing's been sick. I can't wait to drive it all the way to North Carolina. Yeah.
All right, guys, we are finally in South Carolina, about 3 hours away from our destination in North Carolina, 14 miles outside of Greenville. I think we're about 2 hours away from Charlotte, which once we get there, it's just an easy peasy drive all the way home. Like yesterday, today's drive is pretty uneventful. The SAAB is kicking along just fine. We've driven 793 miles in this car so far with the trip, and it's all good. As far as an update on the way the car drives, I actually think it's gotten a lot better the more I've driven it. It didn't drive bad to begin with, but I thought it felt a little sluggish. Like the automatic transmission, while it shifted just fine, it didn't want to really respond to throttle inputs that much. And low speed around town, it didn't feel as snappy as it should be. And I mean, this car is not a fast car by any means, but I think just because it has really low miles for a 21-year-old car, and for the last 10 years, I think the average miles it was driven per year was less than 2,000. So it was probably sitting a lot, probably had some gummy stuff build up or something, but getting it out on the highway for consistent, like, long travel and stuff, especially around town, the car feels totally different. It's so much quicker to respond. The automatic is a lot smoother. Maybe it's just all in my head, but I know the worst thing you can do is just let a car sit around for like long periods of time and stuff. And I really feel like this drive has been very good for the old SAAB here. But when I get it back home, in addition to putting the new tires on it, I'm going to do a complete service. The oil change was done right before I did this trip, so we're running fresh oil right now for sure. But probably going to do another oil change when I get back. Check all the belts, hoses, all that kind of stuff, spark plugs, transmission fluid, just get everything all flushed out and freshened, so this car will be ready to go for quite a while. So we've driven the car 910 miles, got about 45 more minutes in our journey, so I'll see you guys when we get there. Alright guys, we're finally back in North Carolina, ready for some well-deserved R&R. Thank you so much again for tuning into our journey. It was an absolute blast. I've never done anything quite like this. I mean, we went on Gumball 3000 a couple of years ago, but buying a car basically over the internet, sight unseen, all the way in the bottom of Florida and driving it up in 2 days, covering almost 1,000 miles. I mean, it was definitely, I was a little concerned that something would happen to the little SAAB, but man, this thing is an absolute tank. I think I got lucky with buying a real good one, and like I talked about with the Road to a Million series, or whatever we decide to do with the upcoming SAAB vlog series, there's going to be a lot of content I'm going to develop around this car and really enjoy it to the fullest and in ways that I was never really able to do with my first car. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to sharing the journey with you guys. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Follow us on social media at SAABKYLE04 LLC. A lot more stuff to come. Take care, guys.